including a few different teachers, and I've been debating about doing it, and I decided, you know, YOLO, so... We're graduating. On behalf of the class of 2015, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out here tonight. Friends, family, audience members, teachers, faculty, staff, administration, and the class of 2015 itself. And the people of Blanche Chapel as well, for allowing us to use these facilities. Without all of you together, none of this would have been possible. I wasn't sure how to start this speech. When I found out that I was going to be speaking at graduation, my first thoughts were panicked words that I can't say aloud in this room. I am terrified of public speaking. In fact, I want to hide behind this podium right now, but I can't. Not because I'm bound to speaking, but because I'm too big to effectively hide. But in all seriousness, I've been worried about letting everyone here down. I don't know most of you, so how can I possibly make a speech that brings our time here at Eastern to a proper close? Well, I came to the conclusion that the best way to do this would be to take a page out of the book of George Carlin, though much more family-friendly, mind you, and then take a look at all the things that bring us together, the little shared experiences. We have many shared experiences at school. One is learning that there are two walking speeds at school. There's your pace, which is, of course, the only perfect one. And then there's everyone else walking at the wrong pace. And of course, you always get caught behind the slowest walkers at the school. We all know how terrible the intersections at A and B building are, and C building as well. They can be really annoying to get through sometimes, but we still use them, for some weird reason. We've also all had those occasions where we forget to do our homework. So we have to ask our neighbor to see if we can see theirs so that we may frankly copy it down before it gets checked by the teacher. Also, we quickly learned that the term borrow simply means keep forever in high school. And that no one has basic school supplies, so they always have to borrow your stuff. Another thing we all know very well is that when we get good grades, it's obviously because we're smart and we worked hard. But when we get bad grades, it has to be completely our teacher's fault because they either didn't teach us the material or made the test hard. That's entirely untrue, of course. But as high school students, it is our job to never accept blame. Finally, we learned that time hates us. Time seems to lumber on so slowly when we're taking notes or doing classwork. But when we're taking a test, you think you've taken 10 minutes on the thing and you looked up and holy cow, it's 20 minutes until class ends! One other funny thing about time. Have you ever noticed how the days seem to go by so slow, but the years seem to have been so fast? Yes, we all have shared experiences and things that bring us together. But we are also all different. We're all unique. The cynical person might tell you that you're unique, just like everyone else. But I say to them that uniqueness might not necessarily be unique. You're still unique. That trait in and of itself might not be unique, but you're still the only you. This is getting very confusing. Think about it on your own time for a while if you don't get it. I promise you it makes more sense than I'm making it seem. We all have our own abilities and interests that constitute our path through school. Some of us are athletic, some of us are intellectual, and some of us are really great socially. I am neither the first nor the third in that statement. That's the beauty of high school, though, really. Through experiences, both good and bad, you really begin to find out what defines you. Beyond just liking math and science or history and English more, it's the first time we're given a generous number of freedoms. We get to choose more of our own classes than we did in middle school, allowing us to better pursue our own interests. Some of us get our licenses, our own cars, even jobs. I must stress the word some, as I have not yet decided to grow up into any of those things. But we come from different backgrounds, with different ideas, ways of thinking, and experiences. We all contribute to each other's development as people, merely by being around one another. It is this balance between similarity and shared experiences, and diversity and separate experiences, that make not only high school, but life a truly wonderful thing. If people were too different, then they would have a hard time getting along. And if everyone was too similar, nothing would ever be very interesting. We must strike a balance between celebrating our differences and embracing what brings us together. And I believe we have that here at Easter. But now the time has come for us to leave, for all of us to part and go our separate ways. We have all survived these years of high school together, and now we proceed into a chapter of our lives. Some of us may stay in touch, some of us may even continue to remain side by side, but the time has come for us to begin truly shaping our own destinies, and there would be two people who will follow the exact same path to that. I propose, though, that we think of this not as an ending, but as a new beginning. Although I stand by that we should never forget our experiences here and that we should always remember where we came from, I also believe that who you were and what you've done do not matter. It is who you are now that is truly important. So, this is our chance to begin again. We've learned much about ourselves at this point. As we start in this new phase of the journey that is life, we must take a chance to truly pursue happiness and be the people that we want to be. If you're already there in high school, then just stick with it. But if you want things to be different, you must go out there and make that change. I was always afraid of change. I didn't want changing anything about myself to change who I was at my core. But take it from me, changing your look, changing your attitude, changing your habits, none of that changes who you are. You define who you are. And don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. It's time to go into the world with ambition and spirit to make our mark on the world. I'm not good with goodbyes. It has been my honor to be able to speak before you today. With that, let us celebrate our achievements and look toward the future. And as we do, I urge you all to remember that each of you has had a lasting impact on the people around you, and that you will continue to do so in the future. Believe me when I say that your actions affect others much more than you think. Even the simple act of talking to someone can change his or her life forever. So I urge you, knowing this, to be mindful of those around you and thoughtful in what you do, and to never try to take everything on your own, because you're never alone. There is one last piece of advice I wish to offer you. Take it from a student who made the mistake the first 2 years of his high school career. True happiness does not come from money, fame, or even achievements, academic or otherwise. I thought this was happiness at one point. Making good grades, that's what I thought made me happy. But in the past 2 years, I have learned that that is not happiness. Happiness is making memories with friends, sharing experiences with other people, meeting new people, making new friends. So, my final piece of advice to you all, and this applies to everyone in the room, not just the graduating class before me today. No matter how busy your schedule may become in the future, or how caught up in your pursuits you may be, always leave time for the things that really matter in life. Always leave time for friends and for family, for laughing and for crying, for those who may need you, and for your own happiness and well-being. And if the time is not there, make it. Make it. I promise you, you will never regret it. Easter now, Ments, class of 2015. I bid you all a fond farewell and the greatest of fortune in the future.